In a what? Tsogo Sun Amashova Durban Classic.
I hit a tweet. Just tweet that it's live. Yes, it just happens. Use that. Use live tweet. Use that link.
Good morning, everybody. If you all come in silent, please. That corner over there is Williams. Arnold, just keep it down. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Welcome to the launch of the 2015 Amashova Durban Cycle Classic. My name is Malcolm Lana, and I'll be the MC for this morning. Just a few formalities to get out of the way. Obviously, it's a non-smoking venue, so if you need to light up, please do it outside. And if you could please put your cell phones on silent, but please don't switch them off because we really would like you to tweet at Tsogo Sun or hashtag Amashova. Tsogo Sun Amashova Cycle Classic is just around the corner. This is a very close event in my career. I had the privilege of winning it 6 times as a professional cyclist. And I think from a professional angle, I think it is probably one of the most boxes to tick as a local professional. I think it's got a really undulating route, lots of mountains, narrow country roads, and obviously that fast finish alongside the Durban beachfront. So it's got all the elements of a great day. But also, not just on the pro level, I think it really speaks to the family on the day as well, having 3 different sort of sections where you've got a 30K, a 67K, and obviously the total classic of 100K. So I think it's, on that angle, it really speaks to the whole family on the day. And I think a lot of people have always said to me as a professional, you know, you're talking about being in the front where you've got road closure and it's quite easy, it's easy to say the event's a really great event. So last year, I kind of challenged my wife to say, well, why don't you come join me, right, with the back markets called the hackers. Pro cyclists, that's where I'm ending up as a hacker. So I must say it was an enjoyable event. Probably one of the toughest Amashovas I've ever done in my life. Probably the longest. But not, no disrespect, a good finish alongside Victor Matfield. So I must say that was quite a challenging day. But not only is the race a fantastic day out, but it's also one of the oldest and has a lot of character. It's one of the most prestigious one-day events that we have on the racing calendar. And I think it just got so much better when Tsogo Sun came on board as a title sponsor. It really has lifted the race to a new level. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce Neil Fraser, Group Sales Director. Could you come tell us a little bit more about their involvement with Amashova?
Malcolm, thanks very much. And from our side of the Tsogo, welcome to all of you this morning. From a Tsogo perspective, it's a great pleasure for us to be involved for our 2nd year as the headline sponsor of this incredible race. We believe it's got wonderful potential. And in many, many ways, it fits in ideally with what we're trying to do from a strategy perspective at Tsogo. Firstly, sport is very important to us at Tsogo Sun. It's a very important segment in the markets we deal in. And we've got a long history in sport. If you go back, we've been involved in cricket, soccer, rugby. We've sponsored many of the major events and been the accommodation supplier to many of the major events that have come into our country, with the IPL, AFCON, Cricket World Cup, and even Rugby World Cup in 1995 we were involved in. So we've got a long history in sport. It's also great to see one of our retired sports ambassadors here, John Smith, where's he? John? John stayed in Super Properties as Springbok captain over a long, long time, and then he became an ambassador for us when he was over in Saracens. So what a lot of people don't know is that we actually got into cycling many, many years before rugby, cricket, and soccer. In the early 80s, one of our first big endeavours into sponsorship in those days was the Southern Sun cycling team. And for those that have got long memories, you will recall it was an iconic period in cycling history. sponsored guys like Alan and Billy and Akis and some of the really great cyclists of the day. And the Southern Sun team won a number of the sort of reporters in those days. So yeah, we've got a long history in cycling. So from that perspective, it's a natural move for us to get into this sponsorship with cycling, because secondly, we are really passionate about Durban. It's wonderful to have Philip Satori with us here from Durban Tourism. Durban is an area where Tsogo are heavily invested. We've got over 2,000 rooms along that beachfront. We've got a major casino and entertainment centre. The Durban city has spent billions on the beachfront. Started with the World Cup in 2010, and the beachfront is magnificent. And a lot of Joburg people out of town from Durban still don't know what that place is about. So for us, it's an ideal opportunity through this race to once again expose that beautiful beachfront to the public in general. We continue to invest heavily in the beachfront. We spent a lot of money in our Lamborghini and Marani property. We've just redone all of our bedrooms with a garden called Green Parade. It truly is an iconic three-star property on that beachfront. And next year we embark on a multi-billion-dollar investment in Suncoast, on the extension of our casino and shopping mall, entertainment areas at Suncoast. So very important for us to expose that to the markets. And what better than this great event on the Amashova to go, create great packages in our hotels, encourage people to come down and experience a race day that is spectacular. What is put on at Suncoast is fantastic. It's a great day, and we really hope to make this race the kind of August of Durban. You know, it's getting the same amount of out-of-towners, same amount of people enjoying the facilities in Durban and actually taking part in this. There's no reason why it shouldn't be almost up at that level. So yeah, from my side, thank you very, very much. I think I'm going to be calling on Annie now, is that correct? Annie, events organizer, to come and tell us more detail about the race. So thanks very much, everyone, and Annie, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. I was going to start off by boasting about our Durban weather after this weekend when we hosted the most fantastic Ironman event in Durban. The guys, you turned it up today, and I must say your Johannesburg weather has not disappointed. Thank you very much. I always love talking about the Amashova. I love the story of Amashova. Those of you probably don't, a lot of you don't know that the race is 29 years old. It was started in 1986 by a small group of cyclists who decided to ride the famous route, the Comrades route between Pietermaritzburg and Durban. The event never grew very much, and I think kind of stagnated at about 400 for many, many years. There were a lot of restrictions placed on the event. No more than 500 riders were allowed to take part. They had to ride the whole event in less than 4 hours, so it tended to appeal to the better cyclists rather than your recreational type of rider. And it wasn't until 2000 when the city of Durban saw the merit in endorsing this event that we were able to grow it. And it was because of that, and through granting us full road closure, we landed up with 10,000 riders last year. So it was the vision from the city of Durban that we can thank for that amazing amount of growth. Whenever Melissa and I need to get ideas for the race, our first go-to point are our green numbers. Those are our loyal cyclists who come back year after year. And we often talk to them and say to them, what do you think about this or what do you think about that? And the one thing we know for definite is that this route is a very, very special route. Some of them love the nagging uphills with the lovely recovery riding through Harrison Flats. Others love the very technical descents. And whereas most of us would probably love the best part of all is the final 30 Ks from Gibbets all the way down into Durban. We very seldom ever see anybody grimacing over the finish line. They've always got a beam from ear to ear, and that's what we love. This year, it was with great trepidation that we are making a small change to the event because of our history of the route. And it was in answer to the Metro piece from the Chipping Council. There was a bit of congestion around leaving the Suncoast precinct last year, and with a lot of consultation, we worked out that if the race finishes under the pedestrian bridge in Masabadala Avenue, outside the famous Moses Mabhida Stadium, and does a neutral ride on into the Suncoast precinct, we can alleviate a lot of the traffic congestion and make it very safe finish for the numbers that are growing this race more and more. So that's about the only change that you're going to see this year, because our cyclists come again and again because they want the same, they don't want something different. We are delighted to welcome 2 new sponsors this year to our event. Kui, a very well-known home brand from KZN, are our new hydration partner, and Avis are going to be our logistics partner. We look forward to working with them this year. I'm sure you guys are going to add a lot of value to the event, and we certainly will look forward to meeting your team and working with you. Amashova is passionate about road safety, and the legacy that we want to leave behind are the bike parks that we have been building over the years. This year, on the 1st of October, to mark Transport Month, we are opening our next bike park, where at a school we build a specially designed track, give the children bicycles, and we teach them road safety by using a bicycle. So it's fun, it's informative. We tied in with the Department of Transport, who are doing their education booklets, and we are delighted that this is definitely part of the heritage that we are leaving behind. As you all know, the World Cup is looming fast and furiously. We're delighted that there are 4 games that will be played over the weekend of the Amashova weekend. 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. The Sunday is perfect timing, 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So guys, you all have, those of you who are riding, you need to aim for the 1 o'clock time to be back so that you can join in with our South African rugby legends and come and watch and support our national team. Aaron, there you are. A very, very special thank you to you and your Tsogo team. You are inspirational. You have so many new initiatives. Every week you come back with new ideas. We hope and pray that we will be able to grow this event because of your inputs and what you do for the Amashova. And of course, I can't go without mentioning the general managers of all the hotels down in Durban. They have gone out of their way to offer really reasonable packages. So come on, partners, we need you down there. Come and be part of the Amashova 2015 on the 18th of October. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Annie. Just one question, Neil. Are you going to be riding on the 18th of October?
Not this year.
I know Neil had a serious back operation not too long ago, but they say that Amashova is downhill, so you don't really put much back into it.
I actually have done it not before it gets to the downhill.
That's a long time ago. But no, Neil, thanks very much for your commitment. And also, I think there's a third option. You can always jump in the team car. You're there in 2 hours down. Okay. It now gives me great pleasure to welcome Philip Sotele, Head of Durban Tourism, to give us his views on this great event.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank Durban for having invited Durban Tourism to come up here to partner with them in the launching of the Amashova 2015. Well, as Durban Tourism, we are excited that the event is growing, as it has been mentioned by the previous speakers, including the program director. So what excites us are the numbers. I'm told that last year the event attracted more than 10,000 people who participated in the event. Those are big numbers. And these are the numbers that we need in Durban so that the economy can grow and jobs be created. Because that is one of our main objectives as a municipality. But from Durban tourism point of view, we are also excited that we are being associated with brands like Tsogo, so that Avis is joining this year. And also with the event, it is a premium event like Amashova. And coming back to another point that was made earlier on the investments that have been made by the city, capital investments. It's very, I mean, you can't get events of this magnitude coming to the city if the city council is not investing money in the infrastructure required to host such events. And we are delighted that Tsogo has also responded positively to what the city has done in terms of our own investments. The event will be finishing off at the Mosma Stadium. So I always say to people, you have to imagine Durban maybe before the World Cup or 10 years ago, without all the infrastructure that is there now. And ask yourself whether we'll be having or hosting some of the major events that we're hosting now. So I think this is only possible because of what the Tsogo municipality has done and the response from the private sector. And lastly, we would like to encourage everyone in this room to come to Durban with their families. We're excited about the 10,000 participants, but we want to see more and more people coming down so that we can see tourism and economic spin-offs out of this kind of events. And events of this nature also helps the city to achieve one of its objectives, which is social cohesion, and which is one of the reasons why we partner with the Sharks in terms of taking Durban to the world. So in terms of this particular event, we think we are taking Durban to the rest of South Africa. So we are looking forward to a very successful 2015 Amashova. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sotori, and we look forward to you riding alongside your Fraser. These days when I get to a bike race, I don't know whether I'm in a cycle race or in a rugby scrum. I find that I think a lot of the ex-Springbok rugby players have found inner peace with this amazing sport, cycling. If I look to my left, I could see Joel Stransky, and I look to my right, I see Victor Matfield. Behind me, I've got Corner Africa. Honestly, I don't know if I don't know where these small guys have suddenly decided to start riding bicycles. So what I can do, I'd really like to introduce John Smith, who really needs no introduction. Just come and get his take on his event last year. I know he was at the finish of a very great event, and I think there's a lot to tell about that. I'm sure.
Yeah, I've got some very bad experiences when it comes to cycling. And also, thanks to Mr. we become partners this year for the first time. And when I announced it, when I came home and told my wife that we finally partnered up, she said it actually makes sense because you spend so little time now. This is actually a holiday I'm doing it. So, I've ridden the Amashova twice. The first time I was reasonably fit and went pretty well. And the second time, not so much. And I always thought the crowds were an amazing appeal because they spur you on and they put your name in the back and sort of push you to go a little faster. Coming up the Hillcrest Hill, also having been told about 13 times that it was a downhill race. On the Hillcrest. I started cranking up and I couldn't. My leg literally straightened up like a pencil. So I had to get off and sit on the side. And so obviously all the suckers came past and said, "Give me a pace." I said, "Yeah, I'm just waiting for my wife." I guess I'm here because I'm a biased Durbanite. I suppose a modified Durbanite went to school down the road in Victoria and ended up being contracted to play for the Sharks from 18 years of age and have fallen in love with them throughout that time. 15 years, I guess, it was since we've moved there. My family are all there, and we had the privilege of living there all the time. I guess the nice thing for me and my wife is that our family are mostly from like that. And accessibility to Durban is such an easy thing. So again, on the weekend, competing in the Ironman and watching all those thousands of people come to this beautiful promenade almost makes me feel proud about where we come from and how easy it is for people to access Durban. And the fact that we come here and you see blue skies and a little bit chilly outside. On Sunday we were swimming in the ocean. It's 23 degrees. So that's the joys of Durban. The race itself is a great race. It's as mentioned earlier. It's I never think I'd be giving my synopsis on cycling 10 years ago. Neither did any of my fitness trainers either. So, but it's a great race because if you really put hard work into it, it's a challenging enough race to push you to the limits. And if you a weekend warrior, you do enough, you can have a good time stop at all the water points. You can really enjoy the sights of coming through the 1,000 hills and down into and work your way into that last 30 years of downhill. And I guess the reason we're here is because there's a huge market of people here that need somewhere easy to access to escape possibly a cold winter. Driving up from Johannesburg, drop your bike off at the secure bike park, get what to do. If you stay at Maritzburg, start at Maritzburg, finish in Durban, get a bus back that's put on by the race. And it couldn't be easier. And I guess that's really what I think the appeal is of the Amashova. The fact that Tsogo Sun has unbelievable venue to host this event. And again, displayed again on Sunday with the ease in which it makes Durban such a brilliant event for sport. It also means that I can sort of get away with spending half a day cycling or doing something silly around my fetish of competing at something. When I say competing, it means competing for sort of time against what I did the last time, not against all the skinny acts that were designed for cycling. But I get away with it because I can say to my wife to bring all 3 kids down to the promenade. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I did my longest training run for Ironman, which is about 5 Ks, down the promenade. And my wife and I ran with our 2 kids on their bicycles up and down, with hundreds of people enjoying the restaurants and the sea and the ocean. And I guess that's what this event can do. It actually can give you an excuse to come and do a great bike ride and bring the family and actually make sure that you get both things done. So get to spend time in a warmer climate, in a great city, a bit of surf, a bit of beach, and then you get the excuse to get on your bicycle. And for me, obviously, for 2 hours 42 on Amashova, it's a nice way to get away. That's my time for this year. I'm just preempting.
What was last year, John?
The first year, yeah. Last year when I was waiting for my wife. So, Malcolm says I'm going to be able to drop in for this year, so I'm going to take that one. But really, just to everyone, thank you. We obviously get here promoting Durban because it's just such a great city. It's easy to access from Durban. If you're very finicky about your bike and who's going to touch it, you can put it on your own car, you can drive it yourself 2 kilometers, put it in a secure park, you know that all's well, the time pressure's right, and your family are going to have a great weekend as well. So from our side, thanks very much and look forward to having you, I'm sure.
Thank you, John, and thank you for being part of this great event. I know Kevin McComb called it a midlife crisis. That concludes proceedings for today. But before I go, I'd really like to congratulate Douglas Ryder. Just really wanted to congratulate Douglas. Obviously, with NT and Quebec, doing so well at the Tour de France. Africa really proud. And it's a pity that he's wasn't slipped up now. But yeah, congratulations to Douglas. And then please feel free to have a cup of coffee, tea, and true talk style. And if you need to get hold of the people who did the talks today, the team media need to get hold of anybody. Please feel free to chat to Vanessa, Tate, and Annie. Thanks very much, and cycle safe.